Glad to have you with us here on New England Patriots Today by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here. Loaded show as we are talking about the possibility of trading for Tee Higgins. Got some juicy rumors, a big update to get to in a moment. Also, the latest on Matt Corral and his situation. He didn't play on Sunday. We'll tell you the backstory on that. And Bailey Zappe's got a new contract. We got the details coming up in just a matter of moments. Let's start with Tee Higgins. We have talked about him before here on the channel and the possibility of bringing him into New England. And now the latest rumor opens up the door for a potential trade for Tee Higgins with the development that we have discovered that happened within the last couple of weeks. Here is more. Higgins recently declined the Bengals contract extension offer that they made to him to keep him within the Baltimore Ravens organization for the foreseeable future. According to reports, the offer did not meet what Higgins expected of what he could get on the open market. So not a respectful offer, if you want to call it that. Now, with that said, even though Higgins is going to be a free agent at the end of this upcoming season, the Bengals could still apply the franchise tag to Tee Higgins next offseason. So, in theory, they still control his rights. He can't just walk out the door next offseason without the potential for the franchise tag. And so, in theory, you're still going to have to trade for him one way or the other. The franchise tag, not expected to be cheap, around $20 million is what he would likely be paid if he were to play on the franchise tag next season. And more on this, we did not forget Sarah Marshall, as Musket Fire Patriots insider had this to say on where the Patriots fall in this equation. Belichick could attempt to trade for him this season, which would likely cost a pretty penny and extend him immediately, or he could inquire about a tag and trade, allowing for an extension afterward. Waiting for Higgins to become a free agent is obviously on the table, too, especially with how much money the Patriots are reported to have in cap space next year. But it's a bit more risky given where the Patriots are in their rebuild and other teams that will be clamoring to sign him right away. Bottom line is this. If I'm Belichick and the Patriots, if I can get Tee Higgins right now, I would go ahead and jump on that opportunity to do so. I'm not willing to wait and pass on this opportunity because there's no guarantee. In fact, I would say it's highly unlikely he actually hits free agency. If you're going to bring in Tee Higgins, more than likely you're going to have to trade for him, whether it's now or later on. I would just go ahead and get him ASAP. Wouldn't be cheap, but here's what I would be looking at potentially. It's an offer for Tee Higgins. Give up a first and a fifth next year and a third in 2025. It's a lot of draft capital, no question about it, but you are in a position where you can afford to pay him long-term and make him that number one receiver that this New England Patriots team is looking for. More on Tee Higgins here in just a second. I'll show you some statistics here and how he would potentially line up with the Patriots receiver situation. But first, do you want Tee Higgins? Here's what I want you to do. If you want Tee Higgins, go ahead and like today's video. If you don't want Tee Higgins on this Patriots roster, comment and tell me why. Maybe he's too expensive. Maybe you'd rather have another receiver. Let me know what you think. If you want Tee Higgins, like the video. If not, comment and tell me why. Now, although the wide receiver core for the Patriots was very solid, had a good outing against the Philadelphia Eagles last week, it's still no secret that Bill O'Brien wants a great wide receiver in New England. The theme that we kept telling you throughout the offseason was that, according to reports, what people were saying inside the Patriots organization was that Bill O'Brien looked at the receiving core the Patriots had and said, look, solid group. You got good receivers, but you don't have great receivers. And he's absolutely right about that. The statistics last week against Philadelphia, you can see Kendrick Bourne had a solid outing, 6 catches, 64 yards, 2 touchdowns. We know already about the question marks about Juju Smith-Schuster's knee. Hunter Henry, Demario Douglas, a lot of optimism about Demario Douglas, what he could do potentially as a rookie. But if you add Tee Higgins to this group right here, then you go up to another level, and all of a sudden you're talking about a great receiving core potentially if Tee Higgins joins the mix there as far as I'm concerned. The statistics for Tee Higgins of what he has done in his career have been nothing short of fantastic, as he's had 2 1,000-yard seasons, 7 touchdowns last year, 6 touchdowns the year prior, close to 14 yards of reception, and back-to-back seasons with 74 catches. And think about this, too. He's in the same receiving core as Jamar Chase, and yet he's still making his presence known, not even as the number one option. In 2020, he was a second-round pick out of Clemson. The consistency is there with at least 900 yards and 6 touchdowns in each of his first 3 seasons. And he's well-respected among the league. The rest of the NFL recognizes how good Tee Higgins is, as in the NFL's top 100 list that came out over the offseason, he was rated the number 63rd overall player in the entire NFL. So a lot of excitement about Tee Higgins there. What's your confidence level in the Patriots wide receiving core as things stand right now? Without Tee Higgins, a part of the equation, scale it for me in the comment section, 1 through 10, how you're feeling about that group going forward. Today's show is presented by BetUS, the exclusive sportsbook partner of Chat Sports. If you go to chatsports.com/bet, enter the promo code CHAT125, you will get a 125% deposit bonus. Put $100 down, you get $125 to spend for free at chatsports.com/bet. Early odds are out for Sunday's game between your New England Patriots and the Miami Dolphins. The Fens are slight favorites at 2.5. The over-under at 46.5. Get your bets in now. Chance to bet on your Patriots as a underdog at 2.5 there. And you can bet on other NFL action as well. Chatsports.com/bet, promo code CHAT125 to get your bets in today. Moving on now, let's tell you about Matt Corral. And this is a bizarre situation with Matt Corral here. Let me explain what's going on. The Patriots placed Corral on the exempt/left squad list on Saturday, which meant he was not eligible to play Sunday. And this situation really just came out of nowhere. Corral disappeared after Thursday's practice. And according to reports, nobody could find him for 2 days. Bill Belichick did a radio interview today and was asked about Corral and had no comment. Said that's a personal matter. Did not go into the specifics of what exactly went on with Matt Corral. Now, what does the exempt list mean? It is used for players that are not physically present. So with Corral not being around the team, he was put on this list because he wasn't there. Now, while Corral remains on this list, he cannot sign with another team. The Patriots still hold his rights while he stands on this list. It's not like the practice squad where somebody else can take you from the practice squad in that sense. So a crazy situation of what's unfolded. Corral was in position to be the Patriots' number 2 quarterback on Sunday, and then all of this happened. I hope he's all right. We know that Matt Corral has opened up in the past about his struggles with mental health. This is not something to make light of. This is a pretty serious issue, and I hope that Matt Corral, honestly, is just okay. And obviously we'd love to see him back in New England and hope that things are all right, but just for his own personal sake, I hope that everything's fine with Matt Corral. So with that, the Patriots quarterback depth chart right now includes Mac Jones as your number 1 quarterback. Bailey Zappe is back as your number 2 quarterback. Malik Cunningham on the practice squad, and then that exempt list is where Matt Corral is for the time being. We'll see if that changes, if he gets back to the active roster, and if he were to take his number 2 quarterback job back, or if Bailey Zappe holds on. Meanwhile, Bailey Zappe has a new contract. It's going to pay him about $870,000 this year, $985,000 next year, and then $1.1 million in 2025. And so with the new contract that Bailey Zappe gets, it's essentially his old rookie contract that he gets back. So despite everything that happened over the last couple of weeks, where he ultimately didn't make the 53-man roster, got cut, signed with the practice squad, then got back on the active roster, he's pretty much in the same position that he was beforehand. And I got to tell you, I'm fine with Bailey Zappe. I trust him to get the job done as the Patriots' backup quarterback. Look, there's no question. Mac Jones is the guy, and Mac played very well last week. But if something were to happen to Mac Jones, Bailey Zappe, I got confidence in that he can get the job done and be a solid backup for this team. Last year, over 70% completion percentage. He had his moments. I think Mac is obviously your go-to guy, but Bailey Zappe is more than okay. If Matt Corral comes back, great. If not, Bailey Zappe can be the number 2 quarterback for this Patriots team and has a track record that I think is solid, and he can build off of what we saw last season. So, do you trust Bailey Zappe to be the number 2 quarterback, the backup for New England? If you do, type Y for yes. If not, type in for no. Chime in, tell me what you think. Do you trust Zappe or not? Weigh in the comments section. Thanks for joining us here on Patriots Day. Patriots coverage continues each and every day on the channel. Subscribe now for free. We got you covered each and every day, and we appreciate you joining us. I'm Tyler Jones. We'll see you next time.